Apple is about to quietly execute one of the most strategically important home technology moves in years, not with a flashy keynote, not with a stage full of executives, but with a silent, almost invisible product refresh scheduled for November 12th. A refresh so subtle that most people will scroll past it without realizing the scale of what Apple is actually doing. Because behind this quiet update is a deep recalibration of Apple's long-term strategy for the living room, for smart home integration, and for the future of home entertainment as an extension of Apple's ecosystem, rather than an accessory to it. From the outside, the new Apple TV 4K will look familiar, an understated black box. Minimalist, dense with purpose, yet visually anonymous. But internally, it is shaping up to be one of the most powerful leaps in Apple's home hardware line in years. Multiple insider reports, including leaks from Mark Gurman and long-standing supply chain trackers in China, indicate Apple has built this refresh around a new class of silicon, an A7 Pro chip, a processor that doesn't simply evolve from the A17 Pro-class chips used in the latest iPhones, but pushes the power envelope toward console-grade performance. If these reports hold true, the Apple TV will, for the first time, be capable of running high-fidelity games, real-time ray tracing, and computationally demanding applications at speeds that rival dedicated consoles like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Ray tracing is not a marketing phrase here, it's a fundamentally different way of rendering light, shadows, reflections, and movement, producing realism that older Apple TV chips simply cannot handle. When a processor handles hardware-accelerated ray tracing, it means every surface in a game, glossy floors, metal edges, reflective environments, neon-lit streets, reacts to light dynamically, producing a cinematic, almost film-grade experience. The Apple TV has never been capable of this. But if the A7 Pro arrives as expected, the device would effectively graduate into a living room gaming computer small enough to hide behind your TV, quiet enough to never break immersion, and integrated enough to benefit from Apple's entire ecosystem of iCloud Sync, Apple Arcade subscriptions, cloud saves, and seamless controller pairing. Developers who have long been restricted by the limited memory and GPU budget of prior Apple TVs would be able to port richer, more visually complex games without being bottlenecked by memory limitations. That leads to the second major internal shift, 8 GB of RAM. This amount of memory doubles the RAM of previous Apple TV models and solves a problem that has lingered for years: game stutter, sluggish background asset loading, crashing apps, and bottlenecked multitasking. With 8 GB of RAM, Apple TV can keep more apps in memory, transition instantly between games, minimize reload times in streaming apps, and allow developers to build more sophisticated scenes without pushing the hardware to its limits. For end users, this translates into fluidity, apps launching instantaneously, no delays when scrubbing 4K HDR content, no performance dips when running resource-heavy apps like complex Apple Arcade titles or fitness tracking sessions that process multiple data streams in real time. But the upgrade that might be even more impactful than the A7 Pro is Apple's rumored N1 wireless chip, a proprietary Wi-Fi and Bluetooth stack purpose-built for Apple devices. Wireless performance is often overlooked, yet it is the foundation of every single thing the Apple TV does: streaming, AirPlay, gaming, audio sync, HomeKit control, and multi-device casting. Wi-Fi 6E or possibly Wi-Fi 7 support would enable wider channels, lower latency, and massively improved bandwidth stability in congested homes. Picture an apartment with 30 overlapping networks or a house filled with smart devices. Laptops, iPads, phones, thermostats, and cameras under today's bandwidth demand. Older Apple TVs struggle, not because they lack CPU power, but because their wireless connectivity hits its ceiling. The N1 chip is Apple's solution to that bottleneck. AirPlay would experience zero buffering. Mirroring your phone would be instant. Dolby Vision streaming would maintain peak quality without compression dips. Bluetooth controllers would maintain steady, responsive input even in crowded environments. Smart home devices would respond faster. And for the first time, Apple TV could become the silent wireless anchor of your entire entertainment and home automation ecosystem. Which brings us directly into Apple's broader strategy. The Apple TV is no longer just a streaming box. It is being repositioned as a hybrid entertainment console, a home hub, a gaming unit, a smart home control brain, and a long-term connectivity anchor for all future Apple household technologies. This is the most important philosophical shift behind this refresh. Apple is not in a race to undercut Roku's $40 sticks or Amazon's Fire TV devices. Those competitors survive by pushing ads, harvesting user data, and subsidizing low-cost hardware with aggressive advertising and data monetization. Apple plays a different game entirely: privacy, longevity, ecosystem integration, and premium performance. The new Apple TV reflects this strategy with uncompromising clarity. Instead of redesigning the shell or introducing new colors, Apple is quietly pouring resources into thermal efficiency, wireless performance, long-term software support, and computational headroom that ensures the device remains fast and relevant for at least 5 to 7 years, far outlasting cheaper alternatives that slow down within months. The rumored pricing between $129 and $149 signals Apple's intent to stay premium while still being competitive enough to reach new customers, particularly during the Black Friday and holiday shopping wave. But the Apple TV refresh isn't arriving alone. Alongside it is the new HomePod Mini, another silent refresh. Powered by a rumored S10 chip and the same N1 wireless architecture introduced in the new Apple TV, the HomePod Mini's role is less about audio and more about forming the neural network of Apple's smart home ecosystem. With the new S10 processor, Siri becomes faster, handing off tasks more smoothly, reducing command latency, and improving the responsiveness of smart home triggers. Activities that used to feel sluggish, like turning lights on or off, triggering routines, or adjusting thermostats, will now execute almost instantly. Stereo pairing between two HomePod Minis will become tighter, more stable, and immersive. The N1 wireless upgrade also ensures that these devices maintain strong signal quality even in homes saturated with interference. The audio improvements, while more subtle, enhance clarity, reduce compression artifacts, and improve high-frequency reproduction, making the HomePod Mini a better companion for music listening, movies, and conversational Siri interactions. The refreshed colors, although minor, help the Mini blend better into modern interior aesthetics. Together, the upgraded Apple TV 4K and HomePod Mini form a strategic duo. The Apple TV becomes the performance engine, the computational hub, while the HomePod Mini becomes the distributed intelligence and audio interface. When paired, they create a multi-room system capable of managing your smart devices, delivering whole home audio, supporting Apple Music, handling advanced smart home automations, and providing ultra-low latency communication between Apple devices. And with Apple's quiet shift toward improving local, on-device processing for smart home automation rather than relying on cloud servers, the combination of stronger wireless networking and improved chips matters more than ever. Apple is designing a home environment where your commands, automations, and device interactions are processed locally, instantly, privately, and without dependence on external servers. This silent November 12th launch is more than a product drop. It is a strategic consolidation of Apple's position in the living room and smart home space. With Vision Pro setting the stage for spatial computing, Apple needs a home hub powerful enough to interact with future spatial video, real-time rendering, and immersive media experiences that transcend basic 2D viewing. With Apple Arcade expanding and Apple courting more AAA developers, the Apple TV must evolve into a gaming-capable device. With Matter becoming the new standard for smart home interoperability, the Apple TV and HomePod Mini must serve as bridge devices that connect everything without latency or confusion. Apple's quiet update is not quiet in impact. It is laying the groundwork for a future where the living room becomes the most important digital space in your home. The Apple TV 4K's internal overhaul, A7 Pro graphics, 8GB RAM, Wi-Fi 67 with N1 wireless, fast loading, console-class rendering, smoother streaming, and deeper ecosystem hooks marks a turning point. The HomePod Mini's refresh ensures that the audio and smart home backbone of the household keeps pace. Together, these devices represent Apple's quiet but calculated plan: make the home smarter, faster, more connected, more private, and more unified than ever, without needing a big stage or theatrical presentation. It is a stealth revolution in your living room, one that most people won't notice until they upgrade. And suddenly, their entire home feels faster, smoother, more coordinated, and more immersive than anything they've experienced before.